Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. We are reacting today saying OnlyFans girl wants to date only Christian men. Ain't that ironic? And as you guys know, I am a Christian man, but I just wanted to see their perspective and why they want a traditional man. And I want to see you guys' opinions on this and I just want to see where everybody heads is at. So let's just get back it. Let's get into this video. All right, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I appreciate it. All right, let's get into it.
Religion, but
they
believes in
wouldn't.
Jesus Christ.
No offense or anything, but like they wouldn't really look at an OnlyFans girl. Just realistically, they
No,
might.
you're right, they wouldn't.
They might do. I mean, there might be some out there, but realistically, with the position that you're in, you've put yourself in with doing OnlyFans and this. It's obviously your choice. You've put yourself in a position where you are looking at the sorts of men that would cheat on you, because you're not really looking at a man who puts morals and principles before anything.
You're absolutely right. I think my definition of a high value man is someone who would never even look in my direction. That's not what I'm looking for. I know what I deserve, and I know the kind of man that I will probably end up being with, and I'm happy with that. I'm comfortable with that. Just because I want these things doesn't mean I know or feel that I deserve them. I know that what I've done in the past, has had a little bit of an effect on the men that I would, bring into my life, and I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that.
Do you think that your value changes based on the things that you do in life? Like,
absolutely,
if you do really bad things, but then you change your life, are you just the same person you were back then, or can you change?
I think that's a good question. I think that's a pretty vague, not vague, sorry, a pretty broad question. I mean, I think if you grew up and you didn't believe in God and then you found God and you changed, I think, yes, that's great. But if you killed someone and and then you want to, say, oh, sorry, I think, can you make it like a specific point, like OnlyFans, for example?
Well, I just mean in the sense that you mentioned, your value is, and then you listed like your physical appearance, your age, and like these things that change over time that aren't innate to your soul and like who you are as a person. And like when you talk about value towards a man, like what a man looks for in you, don't you want that man to look towards you, like yourself, and not like the things that you are, the things that you chose, and maybe you can walk away from?
I do, and you're right. There are some things I didn't list. I think, I make.
It's like she's so self-aware. It's like she knows what she did, and she knows what she's going to end up with in the long run, at the end of the road, after all these OnlyFans things and whatever she's doing, that's promoting like sin and whatever. But the fact that she's so self-aware of this is crazy to me. I'm just over here like I'm flabbergasted in my mind right now. That's crazy.
Really good food. I think that's something that gives me value. I love cooking. I love cleaning. I think the things that I would bring to the table that aren't necessarily my appearance would be submission, obedience, really good food, cooking, cleaning. I love to listen. I take direction very well. I'm a good listener.
And then I had one other question for you, because I was really curious about this. You said that you were looking for a man who can...
My camera about to die. Hold on, bro. All right, there we go. So let's get back into it. Let's do it. Sorry, guys.
Control you because you don't want to make your own decisions, and a man who is intelligent, right?
Yes.
But you also said you are totally fine with your man. If in some ways it could be good that he goes out and receives things from other women and does things with other women. Do you think that a man who goes around and does that is an intelligent man?
I do.
So he's making intelligent decisions by being with a bunch of different women?
What if he impregnates them? Is that a smart move? I think it's pretty stupid if a guy does that.
I would have confidence in my man that he would not put himself in a situation to give it a possibility to impregnate a woman. I hope that he would be responsible.
But having sex, there's always a small chance.
There is. I think there's ways to be pretty sure that you won't.
Depends what you mean by intelligent as well, though.
Possibly vasectomy after,
I'm wondering her gauge of intelligence.
After I have children, a vasectomy.
Lots of men who are not God-fearing men and who have certain values inside of a relationship that would be considered intelligent men. So what do you mean by intelligent?
Well, that's why I'm asking her, because she said she wants an intelligent man, but she also said she wants a man who would if he's not getting what he wants from her, he would go out and do it with other people.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like those don't really.
But there's
work.
there's like a premise to your question that suggests that a man who does that can't be intelligent.
That's what I was getting to.
So a man who cheats is not a smart man?
Absolutely not. Of course not.
What do you mean by intelligent?
Well, there's
though?
multiple reasons for it. If you are promiscuous, you're not only harming yourself by bonding with all those different women. Scientifically, like that's just, there's going to be negative consequences of that. Also, you mentioned pregnancy. You're saying that, oh, that would never happen. He would do this certain precautions. But you see where there's like this path you're going down. Like as soon as a man walks out of your house and says, bye, I'm no longer committed to you, I'm going to go do whatever I want, there's going to be negative consequences to that.
Do you think that there are lots of men in high positions in society who would do that?
Absolutely.
Do you think
You actually have to think about this long term. I actually get what she's saying. You have to think about this long term. Like, for example, let's say, like me and my girl right now. Let's say we're in a 3-people relationship, and she doesn't have another man, but I have another girl, and this other girl, I'm sleeping around with her. I'm doing all this other stuff with her, and of course, she gets pregnant, and that's going to that's going to cause like a big issue. But also the other thing is that if that happens, it's going to affect my current relationship with my actual girlfriend instead of my side piece, and it's just gonna be a big round of mess. So don't cheat. Don't cheat. Oh my goodness. It's not hard to stay loyal to one person at all. So if that's impossible to you, or that's hard for you to stop doing, you need Jesus.
they're intelligent?
Not in that way. Absolutely not.
You adulterer.
Okay.
Definitely not.
So you have to be a bit more specific when you say intelligent, though.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Their
I just
decision-making.
defined that decision would be unintelligent.
So they're sexual, social
within the bounds of a
intelligence.
relationship, you think they're unintelligent?
I think that people are not,
because you
just
can have a
black and white in that
180
way.
IQ and still
Sure.
cheat.
Well, I think that if he's going to be unintelligent in that way, he might be unintelligent other ways. Maybe he runs a business and he also looks.
What
at
if he's
people
got a
in evil way.
180 IQ?
Then
If he lacks
maybe he's
self-control.
book smart, but he's not smart with
Okay, but
the
you
person
said
he's in front
yeah,
of.
I think
You did
maybe
say
wisdom
intelligent.
is like a better term.
Wise would
Like,
be
it's not a
wise.
wise
Wise is a
thing.
much better.
True,
much
but
he
better
could
word.
have a
I
high
mentioned
IQ.
intelligent because she mentioned the word intelligent. So I
Yeah.
was just kind of going off of like what she defined as intelligence.
I have
Okay.
a question for
Can
you.
be intelligent.
Well, Sarah, before you ask that question, you asked me a question. I responded.
Good questions, by the way.
Do you want to go back
Good
to that?
questions,
Because
yeah.
I think you were asking me, well, what do you think about this whole thing about, well, it's okay for men to be promiscuous, but not for women? And I responded to you there, and then the conversation went on from there. Did you want to respond to me?
Trying to remember, that was a little while ago. Well, I think it depends on your worldview. Like from a Christian worldview, like for me, like I would not want a promiscuous man. Like for me, that's low value. It's like you don't have morals. But I was wondering if you think like, I guess you were saying it's good for men to have sexual experience. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I could reiterate my answer. I don't think promiscuity is good in men or women. I think the negatives are more tend to manifest themselves a little bit more in women than they do in men. Again, I'm not saying that it's good in men, but there are differences between the sexes. I think one example that I could perhaps give is that I think, for example, when it comes to somebody's body count, I think women are much more, say, forgiving of a man's promiscuity or high body count. I find that generally speaking, most women don't seem to really care all that much or as much as men seem to care about body count. And I mean, if given the option, like if we gave you a scenario, for example, we could perhaps ask the entire table here.
This is just like, this is weird. This is weird. It's not weird, but it's definitely an normalized thing for the world that we are doing, and that is having somebody else in our relationship, especially our romantic ones. And I promise you, I would never have to worry about somebody else coming into my relationship. My lady is a God-fearing lady. All right, I understand that. But if any anybody who's watching this, any men or any women, young, old, my age, I'm 20 something young. So, if you are in a relationship and you are having trouble trying to get rid of this one other person that's in your relationship, and you try to communicate your feelings, you try to communicate how you felt about it, and it's not working, cut your losses and get out of the relationship fast as you can before it gets worse. And save yourself the heartbreak, man. Save yourself the trouble, okay? In the past, I dealt with these type of relationships, and I am happy that it ended the way it did. So just leave while you can, okay? Let's
Okay, so
this.
would you prefer dating a man who's 30, who makes $500,000 a year, who's confident and well put together, but he's slept with 70 other women?
Goodness.
Compared to a guy who, same age, nothing weird about him, but he's not quite as confident, and he makes $10,000 a year, and he slept with 0 women. A lot of women are going to probably accept the high body count of that hyper successful man over the guy who makes $10,000 a year, whose sexual purity or virtue is intact. Now, if you were,
that's I can't say it's false, and I also can't say it's true, but I do know a lot of men, or a lot of my old friends or something like that, who never had that type of game back then. So and they also bagged a baddie, if they say so themselves. They bagged an attractive female in their circles. So and they have no experience in nothing. They probably have a job, but they always had somebody with no experience with anything. So I can't say that's false or true, and that's actually great, because that means there's women who aren't like this. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to grab some other older, more put together man, and I'm pretty sure they're doing that for their own benefit and not just for their experience, just for their own benefits, like money, like he said, $500,000. That's a lot of money. $500,000, and then there's a guy who's making $10,000. I have a 9-to-5. Okay, I guess you can't really call it 9-to-5. I work overnight jobs. So I work a graveyard shift. So, but my girl, me and her growing together. You know what I'm saying? Me and her growing together. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really a situation. You know what I mean? I'm happy that she's not one of these people here, one of these females right here, not saying all this and doing all that. That's crazy to me.
Verse it though, you give men the option of dating a woman who makes $500,000 a year, but has a significant body count. What did I say, 50 or 70 or something like that?
70.
And that compare it to a woman who, not indebted, but she doesn't make a lot of money. Most men are going to pick let's say she's a virgin. I think most men are going to prefer the virgin. So
I feel like men don't care how much money women make.
They don't really.
Yeah.
It's not. We
Couldn't
don't
give
really
a squirt.
Yeah, what would be something
Could
that
not
would
give a
make the
squirt.
woman higher value, the way that.
Man, say that right now. Men do not care how much money you make. Just don't go to him bragging about you don't need him or something like that. I heard that too. When a man gets money, he's thinking about who he can take care of, he can provide for it, and do all that. But when the women make money, she don't need a man. She thinking that to herself. I don't need a man. I got myself. I'm a girl boss. Man, whenever I be hearing that, man, let's continue.
The man makes $500,000. What would be the woman?
Young and virgin.
Okay.
18, 25, virgin, not fat.
Pleasant, brings
Religious.
you peace.
I'd pick the
Can
10K
cook.
personally.
Can cook.
You'd pick the 10K
All
guy?
day, because
Sure.
you can
And
always get higher in your career, but you can't take back all of the promiscuity that you had and all the chemical bonding that you already had with men.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think the body count would say a lot more about his character than the 10K. But at the same time,
Okay.
10K, it's how are you only making
Sure.
10K?
Maybe he's a struggle.
I make more
but,
than 10K
we
and
can-
I'm not even working full.
I think the 10K, no. The body count would definitely show more of what type of person they are instead of their money. I'm not gonna lie, because like I said, me and my girl, we both work, and we both don't make crazy amount of money like these people. So, and I don't judge her for it. I mean, live in North Carolina. I mean, it's not the place. It's not really the place. It's really the profession that we are in. But that is true though. That is true. I say it's the body count.
Time. So I
Let me know, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Okay, I'm gonna stop pausing from now on.
would question his competence
Sure.
just as a person.
But we can this could
he
be
has to
tested.
be really stupid, I think, or just no work ethic.
This could be tested out. For example, who do you of the two men that I generally speaking, which one do you think is going to be more successful in the dating marketplace?
The first one with the high body count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite your specific value set, which one do you think will be more successful in
In the marketplace,
finding-
yes, but not according to my personal values.
Okay,
Which
that's
just
fine.
tells you the marketplace is really, really bad.
Yeah.
And it's just
That's
not.
fair.
It's just it
That's
doesn't
a
have
fair
its values in the
assessment.
right place. It's just.
That's a fair assessment.
I'd say
But would his high body count indicate in this situation that he was going to cheat on me, or would I know that he's a good guy and it's just his past?
That's a good
Because
question.
that would make
it's
a
a good,
difference.
it's a good
for
question actually, because it kind of depends on where the guy's at the moment that you arrive at that.
Yeah.
And if he's somebody who's sort of reined it in a little bit, then yeah, he's making a conscious effort to do that. But if he's still sort of just throwing it around, then that's obviously a red flag. It's a bad
that I
indication.
couldn't deal with.
In terms of cheating.
Yeah.
But I feel like men can cheat and not have the emotion behind it. I feel like it's more of
I
a
feel
feminine.
like if they don't fear God, they will do that.
if they don't what?
If they don't fear God, they can do that and not have any accountability. But a religious man will not. He'll you won't be able to sleep at night.
So you don't think that a religious man can go out and cheat on his wife?
And he can,
No,
and
Even
does.
if you're
Anybody
offense?
could do
It does happen, but if you actually have a relationship with
happen,
God, and if you're actually in tune with it, then have you ever he wouldn't have read this. I was going to say Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. It's a book about the human conscience and the fact that it just sort of eats away.
Story about it, actually.
Have you?
I love Dostoevsky.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Loves Dostoevsky.
He's the man.
Yeah.
He's the man.
I'm going to blur those cussings out. Okay, I'm stop. Okay, my fault. Stop pausing.
Shit.
30 seconds left.
Wait, actually, this kind of brings up a. Oh, sorry. Did you want to continue with your point?
No,
Sorry.
I was just
Yeah, I
saying. I
wanna
think
know
it's a so for example, me, I've come into faith over the last few years, and I was never a choir boy growing up. From my teenage years, early 20s, and I've had my experiences. So back then, I would have been a bad bet. But now, as I've come into it a little bit more, and as I've developed a relationship with God, and I've sort of gotten more tuned in and plugged in with other men who are sort of Christians, it's helped me a lot. Not perfect by anyone's imagination.
Yeah, I can understand that. So I'm never gonna lie to you. That is true. Back then I was crazy. So I mean, not back then, but 2 years back I was crazy. So and thank God he found me. Word. But yeah, I just wanted to say, let me see your thoughts on this video. That's 100% true of what you anybody who's following Christ and who's getting up there with him. Let me see. I want to hear your thoughts about this this podcast. It's the whatever podcast or whatever clips they are very entertaining. So and interesting and very interesting. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I see you guys in to another reaction. Peace.